Years from now, people will still talk about the moment Barack Obama faced Donald Trump in his own office and left him speechless. The air inside the White House that morning felt different, heavier, still. It wasn't the kind of silence that brings peace. It was the kind that makes your chest tighten. Security guards stood taller. Staff whispered quietly in the corners. And every step that echoed down the marble halls seemed to carry a message. Something important is about to happen. Inside the Oval Office, the president's chair faced the window, sunlight streaming over its polished surface. Donald Trump sat there, hands clasped, eyes fixed on the door. He had called for this meeting himself. The purpose, at least on paper, was a discussion on national matters. A serious conversation about policy, direction, and unity. But everyone knew that wasn't the full story. This meeting had a shadow behind it because the man walking into that office was Barack Obama. The one person who had publicly humiliated Trump years ago with nothing more than a few jokes and an unshakable smile. Now Trump had the power, the title, and the room. And for a man like him, that meant one thing. It was time to settle the score. The large clock on the wall ticked once. Then again, its sound echoing like a heartbeat. Tick, tick. The doors opened. Barack Obama stepped in, calm, measured. The same slow, confident walk that had once filled stadiums with applause now carried him across a room charged with tension. He wore his usual half smile. Not forced, not fake, just polite. The kind that says, "I see what's happening here, but I won't let it shake me." Trump stood up, extending his hand. "Barack," he said with a grin that didn't quite reach his eyes. "Mr. President," Obama replied, shaking his hand firmly. His tone was respectful, but his posture spoke volumes. This wasn't submission, and it definitely wasn't fear. For a brief moment, the two men looked at each other. The room went still again. If you could bottle tension, that moment could have powered the entire White House. Staff members positioned themselves quietly along the walls, avoiding eye contact, pretending to be invisible. No one dared breathe too loud. Trump gestured to the chair across from him. "Have a seat," he said. Obama nodded and sat down. A folder lay in front of him. Neat, organized, color-coded tabs marking topics like economic reforms, foreign policy, and education. He had come prepared to talk about the country's future. But Trump had something else in mind. The small talk didn't last long. "How's Michelle?" Trump asked casually. "She's doing well," Obama said with his usual even tone. "Still inspiring people everywhere she goes." Trump nodded, leaning back in his chair. "That's good. That's good." There was a pause, the kind that drags on a little too long. Then came the smirk. And just like that, the real conversation began. "You know," Trump said, his voice dripping with forced charm, "I still get letters about your birth certificate. People really wonder about that, don't they?" The room froze. Every staffer's eyes darted to Obama. There it was, the move everyone feared or expected. Trump had brought back the one topic that had started it all, the false birther conspiracy, the claim that Obama wasn't born in the United States. Obama didn't blink, not once. He simply sat there, his fingers interlaced, expression calm. His eyes met Trump's, not with anger, but with quiet certainty. The silence stretched. Trump's grin widened as if waiting for a reaction, but Obama just leaned back, exhaled softly and said, "You're still on that?" That simple line cut sharper than any insult. Trump chuckled, pretending not to be fazed. "Hey, I'm just saying what people are saying. You know how it is. I hear things." Obama nodded slowly, then reached into his folder. He slid a neatly folded document across the table. His birth certificate, the same one released years ago. "There it is again," he said lightly. "You can check it as many times as you need to. The paper hasn't changed." Trump's smile flickered for a split second. It was small but noticeable, like a crack in the mask. The silence returned. The ticking clock seemed louder now. Tick, tick, tick. Obama didn't say another word. He just sat there composed. The tension now belonged to Trump. For the first time since the meeting began, he looked unsettled. He straightened his tie, cleared his throat, then forced another grin. "Well," he said, "I guess that settles it then." Obama's voice stayed calm. "It's been settled for years, Donald." That tone, calm, steady, certain, had a power all its own. It wasn't loud, it wasn't aggressive, but it carried something stronger than either. Control. Trump shifted in his chair. The energy in the room had shifted too. What was supposed to be a show of dominance was starting to look like something else entirely. A man trying to win a game that the other refused to play. For a moment, no one spoke. Outside the Oval Office, the wind rustled the American flag. Inside, the silence felt heavier than ever. Obama looked around the room at the paintings of past presidents, the stacks of briefing papers, the clock still ticking.